and welcome back to Surviving Me. Happy New Year's. This is technically our first episode of the year, and I'm so stoked because I haven't dropped an episode this year, and that wasn't by accident. I needed space in a sense, not because I didn't have anything to say, but because I wanted to be honest about why I'm saying it. You know, I'm deep over here. Come on, follow along. So I didn't want to rush back into recording just to prove consistency. I wanted to come back with intentions. Yes. So if you've been wondering where I've been or why I haven't been so as consistent for it's like 2 episodes dropping every week, I've been slowing down enough to actually listen to myself and like listen to the space I feel like everyone is in, because I'm a person that believes that we are all connected spiritually in a way, because the soul is energy and energy never dies. Even when you're dead and gone, your energy is still can be felt. So because I feel that way, I feel like energetically we are all connected in some way, somehow. That's why when we're going through certain things, like in the world for us, like with politics or whatever, it's a feel in the air that everybody tends to feel at the same time. Why is that? Because of what I just said. Surviving Me is still very much surviving me. This space has always been about truth, reflection, and naming the things we don't always have language for. That hasn't changed, and that would never change. What has changed is how I want to hold this space. I don't want every episode to feel heavy. I just want it to feel meaningful. I don't want to over-explain things that are meant to be felt instead of just heard. And I don't want healing to feel like something we have to perform, because it's not that. Healing is messy. Healing is stressful. Healing is sad. And I feel like that's how I want this podcast to feel. Very real, very intentional, very much relatable, very much a space where people feel like, damn, I'm going through something. But you know what? I could go listen to Surviving Me, because I know they know exactly how I feel. They be hitting the spots. That's how I want the space to feel, and that's how I want people to feel when they think of Surviving Me. This year, I am less interested in breaking things down, and I'm more interested in what it actually looks like to live differently after awareness, if you know what I mean. At some point, reflection turns into repetition. And that was something I really feared when doing this, because I'm like, damn, how many topics can you for us with healing before it get to a point where it's just like, baby girl, we heard that already. Like, you said that already. And that was a fear I had, because I'm like, damn, I know everybody gonna always go through stuff. That's the beauty of this podcast and why I know it works and why I know it's not something that is for the moment, because like healing is evolving. Like healing is something you do constantly, you know, like a healing is not something that, oh, it's just a one-time thing in your life. Like, oh, I healed when I was 25 and then I never healed again. Like, you know, like that's not how healing is. 9 times out of 10, if you went through something at 25, you're going to go through something when you're 40, and you're going to always have something to heal from, is what I'm saying. So I knew this podcast wasn't going to be something that's just a for the moment type thing. It was going to be something that's everlasting, but I didn't want it to feel repetitive. So I realized I didn't need to keep revisiting the same lessons and different packaging. Some lessons don't need insight. They need integration. So a lot of us already know like what didn't work and what hurts and what patterns we had to break. Like, we're not dumb. It's not rocket science. So the real question is, how do I move through my life with the awareness I have without losing myself? That's the real question. That's the space I'm in, and that's the space I want Surviving Me to be in. So going forward, Surviving Me will be more intentional, more conversational, less rushed, and less performative. Like some episodes would be solo reflections, some would be like little quick check-ins, some would be conversations that don't wrap everything up so neatly, but it still need to be said. And I'm okay with that, because not everything meaningful needs a conclusion. And that is honestly where I'm at in life, and trying so hard to believe what I'm saying. And because y'all know I'm not a person that get on here and preach shit. that I don't live myself. Like, I'm not going to tell y'all, oh, you got to make sure to walk away, and I'm the chick that literally never walks away. I'm always going back. Like, that makes no sense. That's when it becomes fake. That's when it becomes less genuine. So anything I'm coming on here and saying, trust and believe, baby, I'm doing the work myself. So something that I'm currently trying to do to work with is understanding that everything does not need closure. I know I did like 1,001 episodes on the fact that some things you're just not going to get closure for. I did episodes on that, but even I could talk about it today on Blue. I could tell you ways to, feel better about not getting closure. But the reality is, I am a person that needs closure. Like, I feel like every situation should have a point in time where y'all have that conversation. Y'all both get the closure y'all need. Y'all both say what y'all need to say. It's just get it off y'all chest. I'm just that type of person who believes like shit like that need to happen. Even if afterwards it's just done, like y'all never talk again, it doesn't matter. At least y'all got the closure. But I'm starting to realize that even if I may be that type of person and feel those ways and feel like that's what I need in every relationship I tend to have in my life, everybody don't feel that way. So, and because they don't feel that way, 9 times out of 10 they're not going to give me the closure I need. And that is where I struggle, because even though they are not giving me the closure I need, I still try to find ways to be like, oh, okay, well, maybe if I say it this way, then I would get what I need. Or maybe if I do it this way, then it'll finally hit them to the point where they could tell me why this is this. And it's like, baby, you just running yourself crazy, because like I said, not everything needs closure. Sometimes people's actions are the answers you need, no matter how bad it may hurt, no matter how much you may not want to see it, because trust me, I understand. You could be like, no, that's not real. Like, but this person is literally showing you exactly what you are claiming is not true, or exactly what you know you don't want, but yet you're still trying to make excuses for it and still trying to find ways like, no, baby, let that shit go. Everything does not need closure. Okay, so that's where I'm trying to learn and actually practice what I freaking preach, honey. Okay, so one thing I'm leaning more into this year is community, which has always been the goal of this podcast from this jump. Not spaces where we have to share to belong, but spaces where connection happens naturally. That's why things like the After Hours Book Club matters to me. It's not about lessons. It's about healing languages, and it's about shared moments and reading the same pages, reacting to the same plot twists, and having conversations that don't require fixing. Sometimes connection doesn't come from processing. It comes from simply being present with other people, because as I always tell y'all, healing is not meant to be done alone. And sometimes it doesn't have to be a place where you sitting down and you pouring out your heart to this person. Sometimes it could literally just be a book club, and that's healing enough. I don't think we as people realize how sometimes small things can be so rewarding. Like, you could think like, oh, I'm about to join this book club. It ain't gonna be nothing. It's just a simple book club. And then you join a book club, and it make you feel ways that you didn't even expect to feel. It heal you in ways that you didn't even expect it to heal you in. That is the beauty of life. Sometimes the littlest things can be so rewarding and have such a big impact. Like, yes, so join the book club. I want to leave you with this question, not to answer right now, but I mean, if you want to, go ahead. But if you need time to think about it and write it down, that's cool too. So the question is, what part of your life feels quieter than it used to? And instead of trusting it, you keep trying to fill the spaces. Where in your life are you doing that at? Stillness can feel unfamiliar when you're used to movement, but unfamiliar doesn't mean anything's wrong. Y'all know I love to remind people that just because something is not normal, just because it's not what you're used to, it does not make it wrong. It does not make it the wrong decision. It's just different. And sometimes different is okay. So, and this year I'm also making room for new voices and new perspectives. As always, I'm always looking for guests. Don't be scared to come tell that story. And I'm also introducing the segment that I've been talking about, Truth Behind the Walls. It's a space dedicated to stories and reflections from people who are often unheard. Its voices shaped by incarcerations, accountability, loss, and survival in its rawest form. I'm going to be telling incarcerated men's stories. That is what Truth Behind the Walls segment is, please stay tuned for that one. It won't be sensational, it won't be rushed, and it won't be about judgment. I know we don't judge over here, so leave a judgment for your mama. It's about humanity, dignity, and what survival looks like in places most people never have to imagine. This segment is coming sooner than later. Please stay tuned for that. I just wanted to make sure y'all heard it about it here. Before you go, if this episode resonated with you in some way, somehow, I want to invite you to stay connected, not just as a listener, but as part of the community. You can join a letter on Substacks. That's where I share reflections, journal prompts, and letters that don't always make it into every episode. It's a quieter extension of this space. And if you enjoy conversation through conversation, the After Hour Book Club is open. We read together. We talk about the story. There's no pressure to perform or overshare. Sometimes it's just about being in the room, as I was just saying. If you're listening on Apple or Spotify, I really appreciate if you left a rating or a review. It helps Surviving Me reach people who might need this kind of space too. Don't be a gatekeeper. Spread the love. Okay, I got so much love to give everybody. You don't have to keep me to yourself. Okay, all the links are in the show notes. Come through in whatever way feels right for you. Thank you for being here. Thank you for allowing the space to grow with me. And thanks for growing with me as we continue on this journey of Surviving Me. I don't think y'all understand how much it means to me. For the ones who've been around since Surviving Me just started, baby, you have a special place in my heart. And don't ever forget I say that. And I'm not just trying to boost your ego. I mean it. We locked in. Yeah. Okay. And thank you for surviving what you survived, okay? Because I know it was hard, but we did it together and still choosing to show up. We're not rushing this year. Hell no, we're not rushing this year. We're moving with intentions. I'll see you next episode. And remember, no matter what page of healing you're on, you're not alone and you're not behind. Keep going through it. Keep growing through it and keep glowing through it. Because why? The journey back to yourself will always be the hardest work, but when you have a community and you're not doing it alone, it doesn't feel as much work as it may feel when you started. So, see you next episode, because that was a mouthful and I didn't know why that took that long. But anyway, bye-bye.
Faced all my demons and called them by name. This ain't for sure, it's deeper than deep. I'm surviving.